Good evening. Tonight on Joy News Prime, we bring you news from Greater Accra region, Ashanti, Central, Savannah and Oti regions. My name is Ernest Mino. Our headlines: group of 18 individuals, including lawyers, academics and governance experts, describe the anti-gay bill as unconstitutional and an affront to Ghana's democracy.
The introduction of the LGBTQ+ bill as a private member's bill in Parliament, irrespective of its merits or demerits, constitutes a direct and gross violation of Article 108 and is therefore unconstitutional.
More as they push against the passage of the bill in a memorandum submitted to Parliament, but lead sponsor of the bill says he's unfazed by the weight of the personalities involved. Also tonight, the family of deceased activist Ibrahim Anyas Mohammed alias Kakamacho hints they will take legal action against members of the Justice Kumsin Committee to challenge claims that the activist died as a result of a family feud.
The family is also considering all its legal rights in connection with the report of the Ijura Committee, including the possibility of legal action against the members of the Ijura Committee.
Joy News Prime is coming to you live from our studios here at Fanofa, Kukumlemle, Accra. We are live on DSTV, channel 421, Go TV 144. This is your home of independent, fearless, credible and impactful journalism. Stay tuned in for the details.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Hello again, many thanks for joining us wherever you are. Now, residents of Santasia Per in the Ashanti region embarked on a protest Monday morning to register their displeasure at the deplorable nature of roads in their community. They say the poor road network within the community is affecting their daily activities. The irate residents are therefore calling on government to ensure the contractor on the road returns to site.
The state of the road saw the unfortunate death of a driver after last Saturday's downpour. Residents indicate he died shortly at the hospital after crashing into a gully along the stretch. President Akufo-Addo, during his second inaugural speech, assured Ghanaians 2021 will be his second year of rose. However, these residents indicated the promise has not materialized in their community. A resident, Emmanuel Ajako, claims a woman in labor nearly lost her life due to the bad nature of the road.
It is an eyesore. If you look at this state of this Santasia Per road, it is a stretch to the Obwasi. It is a stretch to Nkaria. It is also a stretch to, let's say, Sunyane and its environs. But unfortunately, this road has been left aside. It has become a death trap. Just recently, two cars have fallen into this gutter. The gutter was made by the contractor, Kuvijop, and it has been neglected for the past 8 months. And that has led to that accident that caused just recently. The man who was involved in the accident died just 2 days ago at a Hope Exchange hospital. A pregnant woman also suffered the same thing and had miscarriage because of our road. Drivers are refusing to commute this road because of this poor road network. They are charging us exorbitant prices.
The angry residents mounted blockades during the protest, preventing drivers from using the stretch. This led to a confrontation between them and police officers who visited the area to instill order. Meanwhile, site engineer with Kofi Job Company Limited, Frank Tay, indicated the road construction stalled due to the recent rains.
Yeah, we came here about a month ago to fill the place so that it would be more trouble. But unfortunately, the day we brought the machines, they are even still there. I can take you there and you have a look at it. The very day we came, the following day it rained heavily. Now, when it rains, you can't do your graveling because all the gravel material are wet. And when it happens like that and you place that on the pavement, you are just going to destroy the road, whereby cars, no vehicle can move. But as for this very particular place, as soon as possible, we need to fix it. And hopefully before the close of the week, we are going to fix this place so that this very death trap will not be there anymore.
From the Santasia Press Stretch reporting for Joy News, my name is Kwesi Debra.
Still in the Ashanti region, the National Road Safety Authority has launched investigations into the spate of road crashes on the Konongo-Kumasi stretch of the main Kumasi-Accra Road. Ashanti Regional Director of the authority, Simbait Redu, says the upsurge in fatalities on that stretch calls for immediate attention. Her call comes as 13 lives were lost in a gory accident at Ohene Nkwanta near Konongo on Sunday night. Ohene Interior has more in the following report.
Accident which claimed 13 lives here on Sunday evening. According to police, this particular stretch on the main Kumasi-Accra road is noted for fatal accidents. In the last 1 year, police say they've been called to this scene to manage at least 4 fatal accidents in which human lives have been lost.
The accident scene is littered with fresh pepper, some in bags, mixed with human blood and personal belongings, spilled along the highway. The DAF truck is said to have first hit the rear of an articulated truck before veering off to the lane of an oncoming commercial bus, killing 13 of the 26 passengers on board. DSP Stephen Payeboa is the Konongo Divisional MTTD commander.
This cargo DAF truck was coming from Kumasi towards Accra. On reaching a spot, he realized that there was a vehicle ahead of him. And in order not to hit the back, he veered to the other lane, the opposite lane, and collided with an oncoming OE bus, which was also coming from Accra towards Kumasi. That caused the overspeeding and the wrongly overtaking caused the accident. In the bus, 26 passengers were on board, together with the mate and the driver. So 13 people died on the spot.
9 out of 11 injured victims who were sent to nearby Konongo Udumasi Government Hospital have all been discharged. One of the victims has been referred to the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. Some surviving victims tell Joy News they were saved by divine intervention and their seat beds.
I was partly dozing, but I wasn't fully asleep. We passed Konongo. All I heard was a sudden crash on the car, and it was as if something was ripping the vehicle off. And the next thing I saw, we had fallen on our side of the vehicle. Apart from the God factor, the seatbelt saved me. I was wearing my seatbelt. Likewise, my colleague.
Till the bus ran into us, but the driver did his best by throwing the bus into the bush.
Konongo Divisional Commander Chief Superintendent Shaibu Abubakar Sadiq say is incensed at what he says is indiscipline among drivers on the road.
This is not a dual carriage, and we expect drivers to drive according to the rules of the road. If you look at where the accident occurred, it's a curve. It's a curve which does not expect a driver to overtake. But here we are, this very driver attempted to overtake, and then this is what we have seen. If this driver had taken his time with a little bit patience, this is an avoidable accident. 13 people have perished. People who are taking care of their families and wives and sisters are no more. Drivers flying on this road from Kumasi to Accra, when you are driving, you see drivers overtaking and facing opposing vehicles coming from the opposite direction, telling those drivers to get down and drive on the shoulders of the road, for them to give them a chance. This is unacceptable.
The National Road Safety Authority is equally concerned with increasing road crashes on the stretch. Ashanti Regional Director Simbiat Reju says the authority has launched investigations into the crashes.
It's terrible. It's worrying that all of a sudden 13 people have lost their lives through somebody's negligence. It's a cause for worry, especially on this stretch where we have been recording lots of crashes. And so we had to calm down and investigate into what goes or what went wrong, and then see how best we can put measures in place so that some of these crashes will be reduced going forward. I spoke to the divisional commander at Asante Achim, and he's ever ready for us to collaborate and work together. The only thing we are looking forward to is to get the support of commuters and the motorists.
From Konongo, for Joy News, Ohimentewia reporting.
From the Ashanti region, let me take you to the central regional town of British Commander, which has been thrown into a state of mourning following the drowning of 4 children on Saturday. 6 children went swimming in a community where the leaders say it's in a place where it's unauthorized. Now, 2 of them who were rescued have been treated and discharged. The Central Regional Police Command has begun investigations into the incident. Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwejo Enchitebi has visited the scene of the accident. Richard Kojanyako has more in the following report.
The children went swimming on Saturday. 4 of them never returned. 2 of them luckily were rescued, sent to the hospital, treated and discharged. AJ's son lost his 13-year-old son in Ogbafu in this unfortunate incident. He narrates it happened on their blind side. There was a funeral here. While we were there, we heard that some children had gone to swim and drowned. When we rushed there, I saw my son was part of the dead. Central Regional Police Commander DCOP Kwejo Enchitebi, who visited the scene with his personnel, gave more details about the incident.
4 of them got drowned. Yes, out of the 4, 2 were the bodies of 2 of them were retrieved that very Saturday, and then 1 was retrieved yesterday, washed ashore, and then the last one was also washed ashore today. Just before we came here, they are all students. 1 of them is 20 years. The remaining seems to be under 18 years. 1 is 15, 2 are 12 years, and then 1 is 19. 12 and 13, yes. 1 is 13, 1 is 12, 1 is 15, and then the oldest is 20 years.
He says a lot more education ought to be done on the COVID-19 restrictions to get the people informed.
Although I'm new here, but to my understanding, they have in place this thing, but at times there's some relaxation. If we look at it, if there's some relaxation in that system, then we will ensure that they do what they are supposed to do. They rigorously have to patrol the beaches to prevent such things from happening again. I think there's also the need for education, because according to some of the parents and then the assemblymen, most of these people are illiterate and they don't know anything about some of these measures put in place under the COVID Restriction Act. I mean, not congregating in public without face mask, and also not coming to beaches to enjoy as people used to do from time to time.
Chief Fisherman of British Commander Nana Kwejumbia II says where the children went swimming is a prohibited part of the beach, and all rituals will be performed to prevent a recurrence. He says the town is saddened by the development.
When we
were at the funeral, the children sneaked and came here. Where they came is a prohibited area. This is where our gods rest. We only come here when we have rituals to perform. It's unfortunate. Assemblyman for British Commander Albert Kofi says they are liaising to get signposts at the beaches to show prohibitions of swimming activities.
One, we are going to liaise with the police together with the chief fisherman. And first, we will put some signposts here that here will be prohibited for swimming and bathing by any other person, whether young or old. And number two, we are also going to intensify our patrols. The realization is that we only knew of festive occasions and functions, but this time they sneak and demonstrate come here during weekends of Saturday and Sundays.
The bodies have been deposited at the morgue of the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, while the two who survived have been reunited with their families. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejenyako, British Commander.
A coalition of citizens concerned about imminent threats to democracy and human rights in Ghana is calling on Parliament to reject the proposed promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian Family Values Bill. The bill, proposed as a private member's bill, was first introduced to Parliament in July 2021 and underwent its first reading in August. It has since been referred to Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. At a press conference earlier today, legal practitioner Akoto Ampao says the burden the bill imposes on the Consolidated Fund and other public funds constitutes a direct and gross violation of Article 108. Now, adding that, the group says the bill constitutes a flagrant violation of the rights and freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution.
As we have demonstrated, the bill constitutes an impermissible invasion of the inviolability and human dignity of the person, of freedom of expression and thought, conscience and belief, including academic freedom, of freedom of assembly, including the right to organize and take part in processions and demonstrations, of the right to protection against discrimination on the grounds of gender, race, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social or economic status. These rights are at the very heart of our constitutional architecture. It is indisputable that without these rights, Ghana's democracy would be meaningless. It is accordingly our respectful view that any law that seeks to restrict and repress these rights in specific instances must meet the very high standard of necessity and reasonableness in the defense of life, property, the rights of others, public safety, or public health, or public interest. This the bill starkly fails to do. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, when all the fanciful justifications supposedly grounded in culture, tradition, and religion are stripped off their beguiling clothes and adornments, what is left of the high-sounding bill for the protection of proper human sexual rights and family values is an Orwellian nightmare fraught with stigmatization, bigotry, intolerance, repression, authoritarianism, violation of fundamental rights of LGBT persons and those who defend their human rights, false piety, cruelty, and lack of empathy for difference in our society. We urge that the bill, with respect, be firmly rejected by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs, and by Parliament as a whole. It has no place in our constitutional democratic republic.
Again, the coalition says the bill in its current state does not conform to the human rights charters, both within the sub-region and internationally, that the country is signatory to.
In essence, the provisions of the bill are so egregious in their violation of these fundamental human rights and freedoms that it beggars belief that they could be introduced as a bill in the House of Parliament. With all due respect, we consider it unbecoming of the Parliament of our Republic, one of the key pillars of our constitutional democracy, to initiate such a fanatical crusade of intolerance and extremism in the 21st century, in direct contravention of the provisions of our democratic constitution. Furthermore, this bill, which has been laid before Parliament as a private member's bill, in fact imposes a significant charge on the consolidated fund or other public funds. By the express terms of Article 108, however, a bill that does this cannot lawfully be introduced or acted upon by Parliament as a private member's bill. Accordingly, the introduction of the LGBTQ+ bill as a private member's bill in Parliament, irrespective of its merits or demerits, constitutes a direct and gross violation of Article 108A(2) and is therefore unconstitutional.
The group, however, proposes that the attention should be placed on addressing issues of teenage pregnancy and marital infidelity that they say undermine Ghanaian family values, thus calling on Ghanaians to ask their representatives to reject the bill, describing it as dangerous.
Now, the bill again argues that LGBTQ+ activities threaten the heterosexual family unit as the foundation of society, and that permitting LGBTQ activities to flourish is a threat to society and even the human species. The proposers of this far-reaching claim, however, have not provided any data or evidence to suggest that there is such a threat beyond a resort to some dogmatic religious tenets and so-called Ghanaian family values. In our respectful view, any serious discussion of or concern for maintaining Ghanaian family values ought first of all to begin with addressing the rampant issue of pregnancy of young women and teenagers out of wedlock and their abandonment after the act by their male partners. That is one of the most critical acts that clearly undermine Ghanaian family values. Another rampant social activity that undermines the family as a unit and family values in Ghana are extramarital relationships. Yet, the apostles of Ghanaian family values are conveniently unconcerned about these manifest realities.
My colleague Maxwell Edwards joins me on the line with more on this. Maxwell, let us know who these 18 high-profile individuals are. Maxwell, you have to unmute your device so we can hear you.
Yeah, honest.
Yes, I can hear you now. Tell us about the 18 persons who have come together proposing that the bill be rejected.
So the notable names on that list, we have lawyer Akutuapa, who just spoke. Our last recollection of him is when he was lead counsel to President Akufo-Addo during the 2020 presidential election petition stage. We also know of Professor Raymond Atububa. Also on that list, we also have on that list Professor Audrey Gadget. She's also on that list. We also have Professor A.C. Sipento, who is the Executive Director of TDD Ghana. He's also a signee to it. We also have quite a number of high-profile people, like you mentioned, on that list.
And Maxwell, we are learning of another memorandum from Human Rights Coalition, which has also submitted been submitted to Parliament.
Yes. So we have the Human Rights Advocacy Center. We also have ASPELA. We also have LGBT+ rights Ghana. We also have the Ghana Center for Democratic Development. They are amongst these human rights groups have actually come together to be part of this Human Rights Coalition that also sent a memorandum to Parliament. So two memoranda we are talking about right now. One that has to do with prominent Ghanaians. Then the second one has to do with the Human Rights Coalition. and 9 different human rights groups are the ones that came together to send this memorandum to Parliament.
And what are their conclusions in the memorandum? And I'm talking about the coalition that has submitted its memorandum to Parliament. In brief, what are the issues that they raise?
Well, they say the bill is certain to negatively impact Ghana's reputation at the international level and have a direct, impact on its relationship with many foreign nations, as well as its ability to attract foreign aid, foreign investors, and tourists. They say the bill could be considered as support for state-sponsored discrimination. They also say that the bill is in direct conflict with a number of constitutionally protected fundamental human freedoms and rights.
Thank you very much. That's my colleague Maxwell Edwards bringing us details of a memorandum submitted to Parliament on the anti-LGBTQ law. We'll bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletins. Away from that, the family of murdered activist Ibrahim Anyas Mohammed Elias Kaka Macho says they may initiate legal action against the 3-member committee that probed the Ijura protest that led to the death of 2 people in Ijura on June 29 this year. Speaking at a press conference Monday, the uncle of Kaka, Alhaji Inusa Baba, rubbished the committee's assertion that his murder was as a result of a family feud. He therefore announced the family's plan to take up the issue in the court of law. There's more in this report by Pakwesi Shandov, read to you.
In connection with this, as many of you recall, the committee stated in its report, and I quote, that we accordingly find that the death of Kaka was not directly linked to his social media activism. It is more probably a family feud.
Reacting to this development, the family of the late Kaka rubbished the claims, insisting the committee did a shoddy job.
We would like to use this opportunity to state in clear and unambiguous terms that the statement by the committee that Kaka was probably killed because of a family feud is obviously false, careless made, and very clearly disgraceful. Their statement was made without regard for the pain of the family and could only have been made by persons who were so eager to please their appointing authority that they left their humanity and their conscience aside.
The uncle of the late Kaka, Alhaji Inusa Bawa, announced they might take legal action against members of the Justice Kumsin Committee. They believe one Aminu gave false evidence against the family.
The family is also considering all its legal rights in connection with the report of the Ijura Committee, including the possibility of legal action against the members of the Ijura Committee and some of the witnesses who appear before them.
Fighter General of the Economic Fighters League, Hadi Yakubu, expressed concerns about the implication of Kaka's death on the safety of activists and citizens in general. He spoke on the sidelines of the press conference organized by Kaka's family.
Every citizen, nobody is safe in this country if this is the sort of way that things are going. And that is why we do not want this matter to lie. Because it is not just about Kaka, it is not just about Nasir, it is not just about Murtala Mohammed who were murdered. It is also about me, it is also about you, it is also about your cameraman, it's also about all the citizens of this country who are going about their lawful duty. It may be anything, it may be buying and selling, it may be, going on the street to run around. It may be anything.
The recommendations by the committee are yet to be implemented. Pakwesi Shandov's report for Joy News.
You're watching Joy News Prime with me, and as minutes still to come, GES dismisses rumors that administration of iron folic acid medicines to girls are for family planning purposes.
This iron folic acid tablets, weekly, to these girls to improve their blood levels and to reduce anemia. They are not family planning products. No, not at all.
Details after this break. Daryl Kwal is standing by with the latest in business. Stay with us.
Hello,
I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio. Joy 99.7.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. The Registrar General's Department today began the processes to delist 3,100 companies from its record of companies. The first 3,000 is part of the more than 100,000 names that have been earmarked by the department to be delisted by the close of the year. The move follows failure by the firms to update their records and file annual returns as mandated by law. Here's Registrar General Jemima Oware, who earlier spoke to journalists.
Remember the last time I also said most people registered initially just for the sake of registering a company, maybe just for maybe a visa or a contract, and didn't really understand what it is to have a company and the serious implications it comes up with. So once they got the contract or they didn't get the contract, they didn't bother. So it's been sitting on our database for over 8 years. They've never filed any returns, and it's just sitting there and taking up space. So we want to be able to know viable companies that are doing business in Ghana. That's why we're going around this exercise. So
any punishment or penalties for them?
Yes, I mean, those who we're going to strike off, obviously, we can't really collect any penalty. They are not interested in carrying on business, so we'll just take it off. But any other person who is interested in carrying on business will have to come and pay the penalties and restore the company back to the good standing it's supposed to be in.
Now, as part of its quest to become a world-class organization in revenue mobilization, the Ghana Revenue Authority says it has made strides in its digitization process, a move that will enable it to rake in more tax revenue for the country. This coming after it secured a loan facility of 3.5 million euros and a grant of 1.5 million euros from KfW Development Bank of Germany to construct an IT training institute in Tema. The project, expected to be completed in November next year, will train GRA staff on how to collect revenue through digitization. Deputy Commissioner in charge of Transformation Office, Valerie Ennison, disclosed this when she represented Commissioner General Amishadai Usuamwa at a symbolic sword cutting ceremony.
Ghana Revenue Authority says modernizing tax administration makes voluntary compliance easier and helps fight against fraud. This, however, cannot be fully achieved if staff of the authority are not abreast with modern technology, hence the facility. Deputy Commissioner, Transformation Office, Valerie Ennison says GRA IT Training Institute is an important project.
In the future, we are planning to strengthen the processes for online filing. We have various other digital initiatives coming up, and therefore this IT Training Institute that we are inaugurating today is extremely important to nurture the talent that we need within our digital transformation.
German Ambassador to Ghana, Daniel Crew, is calling for the channeling of tax revenue for the right purposes.
We commend the Ghana government on the modernization and digitalization of this service. We believe it is important that the state has the necessary revenues to finance the infrastructure projects, the health service, the education, and so forth. And this is an important step in the strategy of Ghana beyond aid, and Germany is proud to be a partner in this.
Meanwhile, Ghanaian architecture firm Otna and Associates believes in sustainable architecture with green design. Architect Rosemary Otna says the building should be an example for future government buildings.
Our social media services, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, have been hit by an outage lasting several hours. All three services are owned by Facebook and could not be accessed over the web or smartphone apps. Down Detector, which tracks outages, logs nearly 80,000 reports for WhatsApp and more than 50,000 for Facebook. Now, data from the website suggests the outage is affecting user accounts across the world and definitely impacting on the business community. Here's host of Geek Squad on Joy FM, Kobe Spike Nkrumah.
So a lot of businesses have invested money in Facebook ads, and sometimes you're doing a communication, you put out a communication and you're hoping that your clients get to see what you're putting out. Maybe this communication is timed. Take, for instance, maybe you have something about to happen in the next 2 days, and you're trying to communicate with a large audience, and you need to do that between now and the time that you're about to go live. So assume that during this period, Facebook stays down. All your communication stays off, and a lot of people don't get to see what you're paying for. So all that money you spent on that ad is gone. All that money that you spent on hoping to get that audience is gone. Maybe you got some products that you're trying to sell. A lot of people sell products on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, assuming that your clients are there and the clients can't reach your clients. That's money that you're losing. And maybe someone has a problem. People use social media as a means of customer service. If people cannot communicate with you on these platforms, and they don't even know, a lot of people don't even know that WhatsApp is down. They are going to assume that you're ignoring them, and that could also cost you money. So it's very serious for business.
And some of us are still waiting patiently. Seems as though it's been a century already. That's the business update for now. Sports coming up next.
Hello, my name is Evans Mensah, and you can relive all the fun and excitement on Top Story, Newsnight, and of course, Ghana Connect via podcast. All you need to do is to log on to myjoyonline/podcast. Search for your favorite show and relive the moment. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
And KMJ is here with the latest in the world of showbiz. Hello, bro. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? We're back again.
I'm fine. Yeah. Good day until WhatsApp went down, Facebook as well. And I hear what the domain is up for sale.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
That commenter was like, how much?
Really?
Jack manages Twitter. So yeah, they're having a good time. Competitions, and sometimes you just have to make fun of some of these
Well, we want our WhatsApp back. That's all we care.
Yeah, people are not happy about it.
What do you have for us?
Let's talk about entertainment. And we're looking at one of our very own Nkasai. Nake was one member of the Nkasai group.
Yeah.
And he left music for a very long time. He's back again. He had an interview with Andy Dusty. He spoke about the fact that if it was not for Reggie Rockstone, he would probably be selling PK on the street. And that is to tell you that Reggie Rockstone started a movement that they have benefited from. He also spoke about how the young ones have to respect, fame and money, because, I mean, once they get small fame and money, they start misbehaving. There's details of that. Let's take it.
Anka nye Reggie anka ebia meme baby ameti menia kebia meton PK. You understand?
True.
When you go to Jamaica and hear Jamaican singers sing, listen to Chronics. How he bigs up the old artists, people who he understands that he's standing on their shoulders. But with our young men, it's a whole different ball game. Yesika ketue bi ni fame, ketue bi microphone molding, and then it's like it gets into their head, and the stupidity is just off the radar. My non-professionalism is off the radar. It's off the chart. But some of us are to be blamed as well, because when we had the opportunity to be leaders for these guys, we ran away. So
yeah.
So would you want to be rich?
Definitely, I want to be rich. I really don't mind.
Or poor and mind your own business.
I think it's the fame which is the problem.
Yeah.
And not the wealth.
Okay.
So if you know how to manage the fame,
yeah,
probably you can
but that's
be rich.
The other aspect of it. Managing it is not easy. I mean, there are a lot of things that will come. You would want to take action because you have money. Yeah. Others will come. You want to slow down, and people will be expecting more.
All right.
So it's a bit complicated.
Well, I just want more money. So thank you very much.
That'll be all for showbiz.
Thank you, KMJ, for bringing us the latest in the world of showbiz.
Hi, this is Lexus Bill, host of Drive Time on Joy 99.7 FM. Listen, you don't have to worry if you miss Drive Time or Personality Profile. It's going to be live on our podcast page. Just log on to www.myjoyonline.com/podcast. You can listen to Drive Time, Personality Profile, and any other of your favorite shows on Joy FM on that page. You don't have to miss a show at all. Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Many thanks for staying with us. Time to bring you Sport Time. Hans Mensah Andona, the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association, Bar Husseini, says the sport lacks elite coaches due to their inability to pass the level 1 courses. He's been providing explanations in an interview with my colleague Muftau Nabil Abdullah.
We don't have athletes, elite coaches in Ghana. I meant we don't have elite coaches in Ghana. There's nothing to it. In the coaching system, in the World Athletic coaching system, we have categories of coaching systems. The last part of it is the elite level. We'll start with level 1. Level 1 is a general coaching course. General. The general coaching course. Everybody who go to level 1, you do the general coaching. It's only when you pass level 1 to level 2, then you go and do specialized area. Level 2 is specialty. You specialize either in sprint and jumps. When I say sprint and jump, that is 100, 200, and 400. And jumps, either vertical, that is high jump or pole vault, horizontal, that is long jump or triple jump. Or you go and do middle and long distance, or marathon and walking race. You specialize in these areas. It's only when you pass level 2, that is special area, then you now go to elite level, that is level 3. To be able, the level 3, they would coach you how to take care of athletes at Olympic level. I get what I'm saying. So these are the steps that one will follow or one will pass through to get to the elite level. And if somebody who can look at my face and tell me, Ghana, for the last 10 years, we have a coach who has passed level 1. The last we did the coaching course at Accra Sports Stadium in 2014, we had 100% failure. So if you don't pass level 1, how can you go to level 2 to even specialize? If you don't pass level 2, how can you even go to level 3 to become an elite coach? So when I said Ghana do not have elite coaches, this is what I meant. But I spoke on behalf of the Ghana Athletics. And Ghana Athletics is the local representative of the World Athletics. And this is how World Athletics term their coaches. Before you can be called an elite coach at the World Athletics level, you need to pass through all these stages. And how many Ghanaian coaches have gone through that? How many? The last time we did level 1 coaching course, we had 100% failure. None qualified for level 2. All of them had participatory certificates.
It's a pretty grim picture painted there by the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association. And that ends sports here on Joy News Prime. You can read more at myjoyonline.com/sport. I am Hans Mensando. Many thanks for your time.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
Staying with us here on Joy News Prime, the Ghana Health Service has dismissed rumors that the administration of iron folic acid medicines to girls between the ages of 10 and 19 are for family planning purposes. According to the service, the purpose of the campaign is to reduce the incidence of anemia among young girls and adolescents. Speaking at a meeting to promote healthy nutrition, friendly meals for children, Central Regional Director of Health, Dr. Akosua Sapon, explained the campaign is in response to the high anemia rate arising out of the demographic and health survey conducted in 2014. The survey, she indicated, had a percentage of 48% of anemia among children. Richard Kochinyako has more in the following report.
The Ghana Health Service says its push for the nutrition-friendly school initiative program is for the children, most especially girls, to grow healthy and to reduce the incidence of anemia that has been on the increase. Central Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Akosua Sapon, says anemia is an urgent public health problem that affects children and women throughout the life course and results in a high burden of morbidity and mortality, and all should help to support its fight. She dismissed some misconceptions about the administration of the drugs.
And additionally, we are giving some supplements, iron, folic acid to our girls, in school, those between the ages of 10 to 19 years. Studies have shown that there is high incidence of anemia among these children, and we know that monthly they have menstruation. And as they lose blood, they become more anemic. So we are giving this iron folic acid tablets, weekly to these girls to improve their blood levels and to reduce the anemia. Because if a child is anemic, he cannot really learn. She cannot absorb what is being taught in the school. So these are supplements. They are not family planning products. No, not at all. They are to ensure that these children, remain healthy and grow well. So we encourage all our parents, our teachers, and all relevant stakeholders to support this program and also ensure that we feed our children with the right nutritious foods for them to grow well.
As a result of the misconception, many girls in the basic schools either refuse to take the drugs or they take the drugs, pretend to swallow them, and throw them away. The regional health director indicates there is no ulterior motive behind except that they want the children to grow healthy. Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan intimated there should be a deliberate push for healthy foods among children in the Central Region to help improve health and educational outcomes. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejo-Nyako, Cape Coast.
Now, the Ghana Education Service, as part of efforts to effectively implement inclusive education in Ghana, is embarking on the project with civil society organization Shout Africa Foundation and Future of Ghana, Germany, to train teachers on how to teach children with special needs. The inclusive education policy was launched by the GES based on the need to focus attention on students who lacked understanding in their early years. Bernice Edio Adai is Director of Special Education, a division of the GES.
We have really seen that during the implementation, the teachers have been given that skill to identify the individual differences in the children, because in the class, you realize that some children have slow attention span, others have difficulty in hearing, others have even difficulty in writing. But with the teachers' awareness of these differences, they are able to get the children on board their teaching. And that is the main focus of inclusive education, so that from the start of the lesson, all children will flow in their own space. And when the teacher has that training, the teacher is able to even have the individualized educational plan for the child who is a struggling learner, so that that child is not left behind the regular the daily routine of the class.
Speaking at the launch of the project, President for Shout Africa Foundation, Jimmy Aqua, explained a total of 20 teachers have been selected from the Lankwantanan municipality for the training. He ever says the project will be expanded to other municipalities in the future.
We took about a year and a half to discuss with GES on how best to make the project successful, because GES had to screen the lecturers or the trainers coming in to be sure if they are worthy of their teachers, let me put it that way, because we wanted to make sure that every information that was shared was the best. So after a year and a half, we are here today to launch the program. So GES is actually the monitoring, GES Special Education Division is the monitoring and evaluation partners for this program, whilst Future of Ghana, Germany is the partners for this program. Yeah. So this program is, the training is 1 week intense training, and after 1 week, there's going to be a 6 month monitoring and evaluation of what the teachers have actually acquired or learned. So it has the potential to grow, because we intend to scale it up, because we just picked 20 teachers from Lankwantana, but after successful, we intend to cover all the teachers in Lankwantana district and then expand it. So this is what we are looking at.
Meanwhile, Future of Ghana Germany, which has already funded the program with about 44,000 euros, says they are soliciting more funds from private organizations. Tanja Scheffler is project coordinator of the program.
As the German part or partner of this program, we are the ones that apply for the funds for this project and the sponsoring. So we receive money for this program, so we support this program financially, but also with organization and management. The program is sponsored by GIZ and it costs us roughly 44,000 euros. But to be honest, this is not enough. So we've also been able to put, to receive more fundings from private donors, for example, for the Awareness Festival.
Now, Chief of Kuntanase in the Bosontri district of the Ashanti region wants the president to ensure the construction of the Kumasi-Bosontri road continues after his visit. Construction of the road had stalled since it was started in 2018, with contractors occasionally returning to site. Berima Amankwa Eduna Ababio attested to the return of the contractor in the past few days. He says unless the necessary action is taken, the road contractors will pack out. Nana Ojima followed the president on his third-day visit to the Ashanti region, and our reports.
Nana Akufo-Addo paid a courtesy call on the Asantehene as part of his tour of the Ashanti region.
See here in the state, Yamangu, South Sudan, Yama, 1D, 1F, airport, no one be called London, Yaba. Now the other things, one cry delay, Kakraba, who I say, Yahuano, be quiet, bitch me a farmer, I don't know, so there are several projects, in so.
Asantehene believes regular visits to project sites will help the president to accurately update himself on the state of progress. Through such visits, appropriate decisions will be taken to the benefit of the government. The Asantehene, however, wants the president to ensure development in the Ashanti region in delivering of its mandate. As part of the visit, the president inspected progress of work at the Kumasi airport. The upgrade of the airport to international status is 77% complete and is expected to be completed by August next year. Project consultant Nana Ametepe says the existing airport building would be demolished when the new edifice is completed.
The project constitutes the terminal building, a new terminal building, which is about 12,000 square meters. And then we have the new network which is coming into here, which is about 4 kilometers, dual carriage road, which will now has been on a traffic model to ensure that the anticipated passenger of 1 million throughput a year can be facilitated through this airport without traffic, both in and out. The current runway is 1.98 kilometers, and we are building 2.3. So the existing control tower height will not allow you to see the furthest extent of the runway. And hence, there was a need to build this one, which also has more sophisticated equipment. And because the whole project includes airside work, which includes the areas where the existing terminal is, we need to migrate the airports from the terminal where it is and bring them here to function. And then that area will be demolished and to allow for the all the buildings to be done. So we believe that by come next year, August, this whole entire airport will be functional.
For Joy News, Nana Yauchima, Kumasi.
Stalwarts and financiers of the New Patriotic Party in the Upper West region are fuming with rage over the delay by government to honor certificates of contractual work they executed. They say they have been frustrated to sell their heavy earth-moving equipment like excavators to pay for the school fees of their children and for the upkeep of their families. Chairman of the Upper West chapter of Club 16, Alhaji Abudi Jango, told the General Secretary of the party their good work has been forgotten. John News' Upper West correspondent Rafik Salam reports.
Despondency, dejection, neglect, anger, regret, and fond faces of stalwarts of the Upper West Region's MPP at the annual regional conference of the party mirrors the growing restrained anger and discontent among faithful of the Dankwa Dombo Buzia tradition in the region. For many of them, the risks they undertook to finance and support the party in the run-up to the 2016 polls is not worthwhile and are beginning to regret over that decision. Leading the charge is the Upper West Region's chapter of Club 16, a group formed in the run-up to the 2016 election to raise funds for the party. They generously and gladly did for the party to come into power. The party seemed to be out of the woods, but its donors are struggling to make ends meet or put body and soul together. Chairman of the Upper West Region's chapter of Club 16, Alhaji Abudi Jango, says they have been frustrated due to government's failure to honor their interim payment certificates, forcing most of them to sell their old excavators to survive. He took the microphone, turned and moved closer to the party's general secretary, John Bodu, painting the excruciating pain they are going through, which has resulted in some of them developing major health conditions. Upper West Region's chairman of the MPP, SB Kangbaraya, opted to go for a juggler of municipal and district chief executives in the region. He said they have failed to resource the party that gave birth to the positions they are holding.
You, the MMDCs, have not been financially and logistically helpful to the party. You seem to have forgotten that it is the victory of the party which created the vacancies for you to occupy today. I don't remember any of you who ever stretched a helping hand by way of finance or logistics when the party is in dire straits. You seem not to care, and you indeed want to bite the hand that fed you.
General Secretary of the MPP, John Bodu, noted the concerns of the party stalwarts, urging them to remain calm while they try to resolve the issue. Former Energy Minister Boachi Ajaku considered that all is not well with the party and called for appropriate steps to be taken.
To say there has been no disappointment would be to claim perfection. We are an imperfect institution. We are imperfect people. So things, you will not score 100%. There are little things that people inside the party are not happy about. There are little things that people inside the country are not happy about. There are little things that the president himself may not be happy about. Because of the outturn, he may have wished it to go left, it went right. The thing to do is not to cry over spilt milk.
Former Energy Minister Boakye Jako is warning the governing NPP against imposing a presidential candidate on the party ahead of the flag bearership race. According to the former minister, the party should make space for the delegates to elect a candidate of their choice to lead them into the 2024 polls. In an interview with my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson, the former campaign manager officially declared his interest in leading the NPP into the 2024 polls.
Names have been thrown about the next successor to the president. Is Mr. Boakye interested in the seat?
Absolutely.
You are interested in one for the president?
Look, 2008, I was a contestant, one of the 17. I stayed to pay my dues. I consider myself fit for purpose. So I will not resile from that ambition or that objective. But at the end of the day, it is for the grassroots to decide. We have a process. This party has never accepted coronation or imposition. It is not. It is against our DNA. You can go back to the beginnings of our tradition. J.B. Danko had to contest. He almost lost. Buzia had to contest. And in that wise, people like Joe Apia, Azozo, Hutton Mills, they all left to form the Justice Party. Buzia was contested. Victor Usu was contested by the likes of J.H. Mensah and Dr. Kwam Safud. Professor Edubwahi was contested by the likes of Kodia, Bilson, Kufuor, and all of them. Kufuor was contested famously by Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was also contested famously by Alan Kyerematen. So this party has a process that must be gone through to elect and confirm its leader.
Is it your suspicion that there seems to be an imposition of a candidate on the party?
No, what I'm saying is that there is a process. That process will be respected. And it is that process that throws up the leader of the party. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride.
He also challenged his accusers to show proof of acts of corruption in his handling of the controversial Ameri deal, insisting the allegations against him will not impact negatively on his desire to lead the NPP.
If they have muscles, if my critics have muscles, let them flex. I am a bona fide son of this party. I am a founding member of this party. I have worked hard and long in this party. So if anybody thinks that I don't have credentials, otherwise, how did I become campaign manager?
Well, we've transited from that. I mean,
yes, you cannot become
allegations in recent past.
Like what?
The first process about your alleged involvement in the American deal.
Alleged?
Yes.
Let he who alleges make them prove the case. You can't allege and let just an allegation stand. It is only Hajia Fatimata Alige who alleges and let it stand. He who alleges must prove. But at the appropriate time, that issue will be fairly answered to the discomfiture of a lot of people. At the end of the day, every politician is going to have an allegation against them. That is the nature of politics. That is the nature of our society. I am not afraid of allegations. So long as my conscience and my heart are clear, I fear no foe. Those will not impact in any way, shape, or form my political career going forward. My contribution to this party is solid. I am proud of it. And I will continue serve this party.
And if you want more on the NPP and their internal politics, you can log on to myjournline.com. You'll find a lot of those stories there. My name is Ernest Minu. That's our show for tonight. Many thanks for your company. Up next is Hotline Documentary. Please stay tuned in.